Oh You Thought Podcast, the place where you get a heavy dose of positivity, sarcasm, knowledge, and ratchetness. Enjoy the show. It's your girl Fallon, and I'm back for another episode of Oh You Thought Podcast. I have a special set of episodes that I'm getting ready to release either today or tomorrow or both days. And I guess so it's been like 2 weeks, but I wanted to start the first episode out with talking about nothing but sports, since there's a lot of mess going on in sports, and I just didn't want to clog that with my regular episode. And so you'll have episode 18 that focuses on nothing but sports, episode 19 that focuses on the Jay-Z album 444, my thoughts on that album, and I'm basically going to rank his albums and give my thoughts on that. And then you'll have episode 20 that should have been released last Friday, so it'll have topics dealing with stuff really that happened last week on that episode. So let's just go ahead and just jump right on in, because there's so much stuff going on in the sports world. And when I say sports, I'm talking about basketball. And let me just be upfront. I want to apologize for my voice. I don't know what's wrong with me. Like I said, it's been like 2 weeks since I released an episode. And so I've just been kind of like up and down with my health. And today is just a bad day. And I'm going to blame some of this on being tired. I was out late last night, and I'll talk about that on episode 20, what I did last night. And it was very, very special. So some of this is me being tired and me feeling sick today, but I'm going to push through, because I said if I miss like another week, if I don't get out the episodes that I've been working on, I'll never do it. And so this is me trying to push through, and so I apologize in advance for my voice. So first up on the docket, I want to go ahead and talk about really my second favorite team in the NBA. For those of you that truly know me, that listen to this podcast, and I'm talking about the Dallas Mavs. And the player that I want to start talking about today is, of course, a legend, a living legend, Dirk Nowitzki. And I just want to talk about, number one, he just recently finalized his contract. I think it's 2 years for $10 million. And it's not really a lot of money, but, and this is no shade, this is just, we have to be open and honest when we have these conversations. He is on the downslide of his career. Now he's still been giving you solid numbers. He's had injuries, and he's up in age. And so we really can't blame all of this on Dirk, but I think the fact that Dirk has been so loyal to the Dallas Mavericks, I think they should pay some of that loyalty. Over the years, there's an article that came out that basically Dirk has left close to $200 million on the table. And I think that's really sucky, especially when you hear all the people that are getting their paychecks, this last season or whatever, all of them getting the max deals and the new numbers on the max deals, and people are getting crazy paid, and it's just like, I feel like Dirk never really got his money back the way he deserved. And no, I'm not looking for Dirk to get like a max deal or anything like that. I'm just looking for the Mavs to just throw him just a little bit more bread, because they're not really taking part in the free agency that's going on. We haven't really heard them in talks with anyone big, except for Derrick Rose. And I don't know where that conversation is with Dallas. And I believe it was some other team that was possibly on the table for Derrick Rose. And so there again, the Knicks, they're being really funny acting people, taking the talks off the table for Carmelo Anthony, and I'll talk about that later. So I'm pretty sure Derrick Rose, he falls into the same thing. They probably just pause everything so they could reevaluate. So if they're holding out to give money to Derrick Rose, I get it, but I just feel like they could have they could have thrown him a little bit more money, because I don't think I've ever seen a player that has been so loyal and not leave to go either A, get another championship, or B, get to the money. And even my boy, we're talking about my Rockets, Akeem Olajuwon, like, once he was done here in Houston, which he's a legend here, we respect him as a legend, he's still a part of the system, he left to go play for another team. He wasn't loyal like that. So I definitely look up to Dirk in the regards of being a loyal player to a system. And so the Mavs, they really have some good pieces. Not like, and there again, I like the Mavs. I don't think they're gonna have what it takes to beat the Avengers, and I want y'all to give me my props. When I say the Avengers, I'm talking about Golden State. So if I see anybody referencing Golden State as the Avengers, I'm going to know that you listened to my podcast, or you saw my tweets, or you saw my Facebook posts, and you're stealing my thoughts and ideas without giving me credit. Give me credit, because I feel like that's a bomb-ass analogy for Golden State. And so they have the baby Mavs. They have some old guys on the team. So I think definitely my prediction is they're gonna be in the mix. They're gonna make it to the playoffs. But there again, are they gonna be out the first round? Just depending on how they match up to whoever. But I feel like this upcoming season for the West, this is gonna be one of the toughest seasons for the West, because there's gonna be so many people out the gate that automatically has a pass to the big dance. And our common goal is to beat the Avengers. And so I'm interested in seeing how that's going to fold out. I would love to see Derrick Rose play in the West, but I feel like once Derrick Rose comes to the Mavs, I want that for the Mavs. And then once we get Carmelo Anthony, which I'll talk about a little bit more in detail, nobody else can come to the West. We're closed for business. If anything else happens as far as trades and everything, people need to be moving their bags and going to the East, so they have a fair shot, because their, again, common goal is to beat Golden State. And so, yeah, that's no hate. Like, there again, I respect good basketball. It's all fun and games when I'm sitting here talking my smack about Golden State. They have a good squad. Like, they have a great squad, the best squad. And I just want to see other people get a chance and opportunity to have things like that. And so, yeah, so that's my tidbit on the Mavs. Rudy Gay. I wasn't really expecting this. I didn't see anything really brewing about this. I just, once it was done, I got the notification that he will be joining the Spurs. And there again, we have another team in the Spurs that's already a good team. I feel like they would have made it further, of course, if they didn't have injuries in Kawhi Leonard and Tony Parker. Definitely would have got further. They definitely gave us the business with these injuries, which there again, I totally did not expect. I expected that narrative to go a completely different way, but that's over. It's over and done with. We're moving on. So yeah, he'll be joining the Spurs, and really, if they keep the roster the way it is, I think they'll still be okay, because you have people that really aren't star players, but they came alive during this last playoff run. And, you know, Patty Mills has still been pretty consistent. Is Manu done? I haven't heard anything on him re-signing with the Spurs or anything like that. You have Danny Green. You have Dwayne Dedman that definitely came alive during the playoffs. He gave us the business. Aldridge, I haven't heard anything else on him wanting to leave. I don't know if that's still a possibility, if he wants to leave. But if I was Aldridge, I think I would want to maybe take my talents to a team in the East. And I say that only because the talent is so good in the West. I don't know who's going to really have a true opportunity to get to a ring or whatever. And so, I don't know. So I haven't heard anything else about that, but I definitely wasn't expecting the whole Rudy Gay narrative for the Spurs. One of my favorite players, one of my favorite all-time players that I have a ton of respect for is Vince Carter. And one thing about him, he's not afraid to change teams and join a different team. And so he signed a 1-year deal for $8 million. Now going back again to Dirk Nowitzki, he signed 2 years, $10 million. He's definitely a better player than Vince Carter. So why is Vince out here getting these checks for $8 million for 1 year with the Kings? And there again, not really hating on him getting to the money, do you? But this is more going back to the Mavs of not paying Dirk enough money for what he's worth. And I just have a true problem with that. And so, yeah. And then another thing that happened that wasn't on my radar at all. So, and we have another person leaving the Clippers, Jamal Crawford. He's going to the Timberwolves, and he signed for 2 years, $9 million. There again, 2 years, $9 million. Dirk, 2 years, $10 million. He's better than a Jamal Crawford. He's a legend. You need to put some respect on Dirk's name. So yeah, so the Timberwolves are going to low-key end up being a pretty nice team. And so I'm definitely interested in seeing that happen. And so Nick Young, he put out into the atmosphere that he wanted to play for Golden State. And so he got his wish. And I don't understand Golden State. Like, why do they pick up pieces that they do not need? Like, they have this great team already. Why not just sit on the money or give other people more money on your squad? And I don't know, maybe I'm just not well diverse in Nick Young's career. So if someone could educate me on why he's a good fit for Golden State, I would love to hear why. So yeah, email me or DM me or whatever your thoughts on Nick Young. Email ohyouthoughtfallon@gmail.com. Moving in another direction in the basketball world, the Ball family, they're going to be a part of the reality TV world. And so definitely wasn't expecting that either. And so they're getting their own reality TV show, and it's produced by Facebook. And I didn't know that Facebook was out here producing reality TV shows. And so I'm definitely interested in seeing that. Lonzo Ball is out here doing good in the summer league, and I think I'm just gonna shut up at this point and watch him play and see how he's really gonna fit with the Lakers and go from there. On the sour side of sports, involving my Rockets, also involving Golden State, we got played out by Andre Iguodala. And I was a little bit excited about this because he's a good defensive player. And what do the Rockets need? They need more defense on their roster. They need more defense on their coaching staff, period. And so when I saw this, that he came down to visit with us, I was like, okay. I know like James Harden and Chris Paul are going to be in his ear, and, they're going to make that deal happen. So that's going to be great. But no, he took his happy behind back to Golden State for 3 years for $48 million, which I get it. And they want to keep the team together. And he probably just did that to try to make Golden State feel some type of way. And they ended up paying him for his little visit. Keeping on the trend, we're talking about Golden State. Steph Curry, he got his payday that was due to him because basically he was in a crappy contract where basically he bloomed into this wonderful player, but he wasn't getting paid what he should get paid as being that caliber of a player. And so he signed his contract with Golden State for $201 million for 5 years. So I know he's really happy about that. Blake Griffin, he's staying with the Clippers. And he was another person where we didn't know what he was really going to do, if he was going to stay, if he wanted to be a tag team and tag along with Chris Paul, even though word on the street is I don't think they get along. But he's going to re-sign with the Clippers for 5 years for $173 million. Now, is he worth all that money? Because I don't know. He has his moments, but he has injury problems. Consistency is an issue for me. And I don't know. But it'll be interesting to see how the Clippers will do with the new additions they got from the Rockets and whatever other pieces they still have left over there, to see if they're going to still be a contender in the West for the playoffs. One of my favorite players in the East, John Wall, he got his 4-year extension, which is just an offer at this point. I don't know if he's accepted it or not, which I'm pretty sure he's going to accept it, because where else is he going to go, for $168 million. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like he's done a lot for that organization as far as getting them to the playoffs multiple times. And I just feel like he's worth maybe a little bit more than that. Call me crazy, but I think he's worth a little bit more than that. Another one of my favorite players that I just want to see him do well is Rondo. And so he was officially waived from the Bulls. And I think yesterday, he signed with New Orleans. And so I think that would be interesting. And I just think if Rondo goes into the situation of wanting to just win and not be about anything extra and just get it done, I think it would be a good look for him over in New Orleans, because he's reuniting with DeMarcus Cousins. He's going to be playing with Anthony Davis, and that's pretty much where it stops in New Orleans right now. I don't know if they're going to have the opportunity to add more pieces. I don't know if they had any good draft picks, but I feel like Rondo would be a good fit for them. Call me crazy, but I think New Orleans will be a contender for the top 8 for the playoffs. We know how it is in the West. It's always a fight for the last couple of spots until the bitter end. And I think they're going to be in contentions for that as long as everyone is getting along. And so recently, after, was it the ESPYs or was it the NBA awards? It had to be I can't talk. ESPY awards, because I feel like they happened last week. Like everything is kind of like a blur to me. And so Kevin Durant to James Harden had this statement to release about James Harden not getting the MVP award. And he said, shout out to my boy, James Harden. For 5 years, he's taken his game to the next level. He will be an MVP one day. He's an MVP right now. He's made so many people proud. I know this firsthand. Recognize what he has done for the game. And those are all facts. And I have so much respect for Kevin Durant coming out and, speaking up for James Harden, because even though he hasn't said anything negative as far as not getting the MVP award this season, I know he had to feel some kind of way in regards to not getting the MVP award. And he just had a crazy good season this season. And I just pray that it carries over into next season, because I really do want us to get a championship with James Harden. And basically, last week we found out that basically James Harden, he hit the NBA lotto. He signed his 4-year extension for $228 million. So now he's officially a Rocket up until the 2022-2023 season. That seems so crazy. Like, time just flies by. It seems like yesterday it was just like 2000 and I was graduating from high school and all that great stuff. But no, No. He's only 27 and he's worth nearly $500 million with all his business ventures that he has going with also this NBA contract. And so I'm very happy for James Harden. And yeah, so we all know that we officially got Chris Paul. And this past Friday we had CP3 Day. He's so happy to be here. The city is happy to have him. Him and James Harden are like besties at this point. They were at the Kendrick Lamar concert together, and so they out here saying that they're focused on winning. They're focused on getting a championship. So if he's happy to be here, as a true Rockets fan, I'm happy to have him on the squad. And so, yeah, when James Harden got his payday, he tweeted out, "To hell with the ball. Let me hold some money." And I just thought that was so funny. And so, yeah, it's imperative that these guys get along in order for this to work, because we know the narrative on how the Rockets can be sometimes. Like, they make it a little tough. If people don't get along, they be ready to ship people off and everything. And so I just don't want that to happen for my squad. I want us to get along. And so I want to go back to the Mavs for a little bit, because I want to talk about a rookie, and I just kind of want to dive into him for a little bit, because he's been impressing a lot of people during the summer league games. And I just wanted to talk about Dennis Smith Jr. And he was drafted from North Carolina State University, and he played for only 1 year. He decided that he wanted to put his hat in the ring to be drafted, and I think the Mavs would be a great system for him to play for. He's from Fayetteville, North Carolina. That's where my current favorite rapper, J. Cole, is from. And so J. Cole was recently spotted at one of the Summer League games, and he was there to support Dennis Smith Jr. And I thought that was just really dope. And that's one thing about J. Cole. Like, he supports a lot of people from North Carolina. He's very proud to be from North Carolina. And so this is like the highest draft pick that Dallas has had since they got Dirk Nowitzki, which is really ironic. And so if that good luck can just float over Dennis Smith and he just become like a amazing player for the Mavs, that would be great. The coach is impressed with him. He's impressed with his end-to-end speed and assertiveness, which is great. I'm definitely a person that loves for a person to be assertive, like especially in a team setting. So that would be good that the coach likes him already, because we've heard stories about Coach Carlisle that it's hard for people really to like get on his good side and stuff. And so that's a good thing for him. But I definitely think he would be a good fit for the team overall, going back to the narrative of the baby Mavs. And that's basically, it was an article written about all the young players that the Mavs have. And so I think he'll fall right on in with the younger team. And I think he's definitely going to help get them into contention for getting a seat in the top 8 for the playoffs. And so the last team that I really want to dive into for a little bit before I sign off, I mentioned before the Timberwolves, and they are really stacking up, and I think we should take notice, and I think we should be a little bit worried. They have Jimmy Butler, who I love, Jeff Teague, Taj Gibson. So you got Taj Gibson and Jimmy Butler reuniting again. Jamal Crawford, as I mentioned earlier, and they still have Karl Anthony Towns and Andrew Wiggins. And then as far as on the vet side, which I thought this guy was just totally done with the NBA, Tayshaun Prince. And so I don't know how much he has contributed to being on the team, but those names alone, to me, screams out, danger, danger, danger. And so, yeah, we should be a little bit worried about the Timberwolves. So let me know your thoughts on that. Like, talk to me about the Timberwolves. What are your opinions on that? The Mavs. What do you think about the Rockets? Like, who do you have picked for the finals this upcoming season? I know it's early, and I know that football is right around the corner, which I'm so excited for. So, yeah, email me at ohyouthoughtfallon@gmail.com and let me know your thoughts on everything that's going on in basketball. So yeah, with that, this is the end of episode 18. I'm back, y'all. I'm trying to just like I said, I'm trying to hang in there because I really do love doing this. And so I'm really just trying to push through. If you're not following me on social media, please follow me. Follow me on Twitter. And it's Pretty and Smart 81. That's Pretty, the letter N, Smart 81. That's Twitter. Please follow me on Instagram. My Instagram name is ohyouthoughtfallon. You spell my name Fallon. Email, like I said, ohyouthoughtfallon@gmail.com. Hit up my website. I haven't updated my website, but just you can go check out all the gems that I have on there. My old episodes, like subscribe to the podcast via iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, SoundCloud. Just hit me up. And I hope you enjoy this episode. And I'll talk to y'all a little bit later. Until next time, remember to glow up, bless up, stay prayed up, and hold it down.
Hold it down. Hold it down.